Hi guys, today's video is on Swiss drumming and Swiss rudiments. This has been a theme lately because I have this new book out. It's an original English translation of Tambour-Ordonnanz of 1917, which is a World War I era Swiss rudimental manual. And it's the only Swiss manual ever been produced in English that I'm aware of. Now, if you're thinking, wait a second, that's not true, you're probably thinking about Basel rudiments, which I have a whole video on. They're totally separate types of drumming. We're going to demonstrate that today. I'm going to try to play the same piece out of this book and out of a Fritz Berger book, so out of the military style and the Basel style. And we'll compare, and you'll notice they are not very similar at all. So today we're just going to play the Reveilles signals from both traditions. In the military tradition it's called the Tagwacht, or in French it's called the Diane. And in the Basel tradition it's called the Pfeifer Tagwacht, which in French is also called the Diane, or at least a portion of it is. They go on to have a more French set of things, including the Reveilles and the Rigadon, and we're not going to play those. We're just going to directly compare the Tagwache to the Tagwacht, which is essentially both the beginning of the Reveille sequence in both styles. So here is the 1917 World War I version of the Tagwache, or Diane, from the military style of Swiss drumming. Here's the corresponding Diane portion of the Pfeifer Tagwacht from the Basel style. So again, just for a closer comparison, I'm going to play just the pickup in the first measure of one, and then right into it, the pickup in the first measure of the other. So you can easily hear there's a huge difference between these two pieces. The military one is in 6/8, and it sounds pretty much like it's in 6/8. The Basel one is nominally in 2/4, but it really sounds like it's in 10/16. Everything's a quintuplet, so it could have been written in 6/8, and you'd play the same thing anyway. The time signature is pretty much irrelevant to the notes you're playing. But, that being said, they are totally different sounding. So, this is kind of interesting. If you look at the traditions in, like, German-speaking countries, it's typically more like the military style, and if you look at the traditions in French or English-speaking countries, it's actually more like the Basel style. So you can find plenty of Western militaries with rudimental traditions where either one of these different sounding reveilles will be kind of like what they do in that country. So it's not like one is better or more classic than the other. It's almost a pretty even split, and they're just different. So once again, supporting the fact that Swiss military drumming and Swiss Basel drumming are just completely separate styles. Again, one's more Germanic, one's more French-ish. You can kind of make that determination, but they're definitely not the same. So I think it'd be interesting to compare more pieces, but there really aren't a whole lot of other overlapping pieces. The Basel tradition is just more civilian, and the military tradition isn't. So there's no reason that the Basel would have all the same battle signals and calls and marches that the military tradition would have, because thered be no function for them. So that's the only one where I can clearly see that it's obviously based on the same idea, even though the execution is completely different. Anyway, hopefully that was interesting to you guys. Check out my book, Tambour-Ordonnanz of 1917, originally translated from the French and German into English by me, and it's the only Swiss book you can get in English that isn't about the Basel style. So check it out. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.